Big trucks don't use the same brakes as your car, and that's not random. It's because normal brakes would actually be dangerous at that scale. Think about it. A fully loaded truck can weigh 20, 30, even 40 tons. Now imagine trying to stop all that weight using the same system your car uses. It wouldn't just struggle, it could fail. And when brakes fail on something that heavy, it's not a small problem. So instead of using hydraulic brakes like cars, trucks use something completely different. Air. Compressed air. And that sounds strange at first, because air doesn't feel powerful. It's invisible. Light. So how can something like air stop a massive moving truck? The answer is pressure. Inside a truck, there's an air compressor. It constantly pumps air into storage tanks and building pressure, storing energy. Those tanks act like reserves, always ready. Now, when the driver presses the brake pedal, they're not pushing fluid like in a car. They're releasing air. That pressurized air moves through pipes into brake chambers near each wheel. Inside those chambers, the air pushes a diaphragm. That movement activates a rod, which presses the brake pads against the wheel. And that's what slows the truck down. So instead of pushing directly, the driver is controlling pressure. And the system does the work. Now here's where things get interesting. In a car, if there's a leak in the brake system, you lose pressure, which means you lose braking power. That's dangerous. But in a truck, the system is designed differently. It's fail-safe, which means if pressure drops, the brakes don't stop working. They automatically engage. Because in air brake systems, the brakes are actually held off by air pressure. So when pressure is lost, the system assumes something is wrong and activates the brakes on its own. This is called a spring brake system. And it's one of the biggest reasons trucks use air brakes. Because even if something fails, the truck won't lose its ability to stop. It will stop itself. Now compare that for a second. Car, problem, brakes fail. Truck, problem, brakes activate. That's a massive safety advantage. But there's more. Trucks are long, sometimes with multiple trailers, and braking force needs to reach every wheel, even the ones far behind. Air makes this possible. It travels easily through long systems and distributes pressure evenly across all wheels. Hydraulic systems struggle with that. They're harder to scale, more complex over distance. Air systems, simpler, more reliable. Now think about that sound you hear near trucks. That loud psh, that's not random. That's air being released. The system adjusting pressure, keeping everything balanced. Because too little pressure means weak braking. Too much can damage the system. So it constantly regulates itself. Now here's one last thing. Air brakes don't just help trucks stop. They help them stay stopped. Those same spring brakes can hold the truck in place, even when parked, especially on slopes, which adds another layer of safety. And once you understand all this, something clicks. Because now, air brakes don't feel strange anymore. They feel necessary. Because when you're dealing with something that heavy, you don't just need strong brakes. You need a system that works, even when things go wrong. And that's why trucks don't use the same brakes as cars. Not because they can't, but because they shouldn't. And the next time you hear that psh sound on the road, you'll know it's not just noise. It's a system, making sure something massive can always be brought under control.